Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles, and I welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and where we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. We recently did a video, probably a few weeks ago, when ESPN first announced that JJ Redick was going to be joining their network. Now, all of you guys who know who JJ Redick is, for those of you who don't know, JJ Redick is one of the greatest three-point shooters in the history of the NBA. He was also one of the greatest college basketball players of all time, and he played for a very long time in the NBA. He played for 10 plus years. He played with some of the greatest players of all, that the league has ever seen. Now, he recently retired from the sport a few years ago, and since then he started his own show called the JJ Redick Podcast. A very successful show, I have to say, by the way. It's a show that he has on YouTube where basically he interviews a lot of, current and former NBA players, and he really did well for himself, to the point where ESPN ultimately took notice of him and they said, listen, we want to bring you on board. So we covered that story when he initially joined the network, and I was happy to see him go there. Why? Because I felt as if, the network needed sort of a breath of fresh air, and I thought that he would be able to do so. But initially when he joined, we didn't have any idea what type of personality he would be on air. Now, on the other hand, we all know that Stephen A. Smith is the undoubted face, the undisputed face of ESPN, and he's arguably the biggest voice in sports media. We all know that. We also know that there's a rule, or like an unwritten rule at ESPN: never cross Stephen A. Smith. And it seems as if everybody got that memo except JJ Redick, right? JJ Redick seems to be the only person that was unaware of that memo. And recently, there was an exchange between JJ Redick and Stephen A. Smith on ESPN First Take, and it centered around the question, or the topic item, who's a more feared NBA player during their playing career? Was it Michael Jordan or was it LeBron James? And I think that question was, that question really came up from the fact that LeBron James recently, he got suspended and all of these different things. And I think that was what solicited them coming up with that topic. So that was a topic item. And Stephen A. Smith took a particular position. Now, what I didn't expect was what JJ Redick said in response to some of the comments that Stephen A. Smith made. So for those of you who missed that exchange between JJ Redick and Stephen A. Smith, we're going to play a little bit of it here, and then we're going to come back and give you guys our thoughts. So before we go too far, take a listen to this back and forth between Stephen A. Smith and JJ Redick. Take a listen to that.
But again, he is profoundly respected. This is not an issue about respect for LeBron. I'm talking fear factor. Fear factor. That's just not something that has ever been associated with him.
There's a lot to unpack there.
Go ahead, man.
There's a lot to unpack there.
That's why you're here.
First of all, two of the guys you brought up in that conversation.
Yes.
Kobe.
Yeah.
Got two-piece by Chris Childs.
Yes, it's Chris Childs.
Michael Jordan got the hell beat out of him for years by the Detroit Pistons. So they challenged him physically. To say that LeBron, who's won 4 championships, multiple league MVPs, made the finals 8 straight years.
Right.
To say he's not feared by players?
Not feared.
I don't know whether to believe that you believe what you're saying.
I do believe
that's crazy.
Well, it's not crazy. That's crazy. It's not crazy, and you know better. You know better. But
hold on. When has there been a situation? If you're talking physical confrontation?
No, I'm not. Listen.
Physical confrontation.
Listen. Well.
If that's what you're referring to, nobody's ever challenged LeBron like that. Why would they?
Nobody could challenge him. I forgot who it was, the center that played for the Chicago Bulls, when he shoved LeBron to the ground, pushed him to the floor when he was in Miami. But that's neither here nor there. What I'm saying to you is this. If you watch the game, which you do,
I played the game, Stephen A. And I played against LeBron in the playoffs.
Okay.
And I've played against LeBron. I played against LeBron for 15 years.
You fear what he could do.
Woo! Whoa. First of all, I want to give a quick congratulations to JJ Redick, because he really, he went at him, directly. And it's, we seldom see people come on ESPN First Take and directly go at Stephen A. Smith. He wasn't beating around the bush. If you saw that exchange, which we couldn't play the video, but you heard the audio, what you missed is how JJ Redick was looking at Stephen A. Smith when he was making his points. Essentially, the look he was giving Stephen A. Smith was, he was looking at him and he was like, bro, what are you even talking about right now? It was almost as if JJ Redick was trying to look at Stephen A. Smith and make him look like as if he had no clue of what he was talking about. I mean, it was that bad. And you rarely see Stephen A. Smith kind of stumbling on his thoughts, kind of, having a brain freeze. Like at one point he just paused and he was like, I can't remember the name of this particular guy at that moment. It looked to me that JJ Redick, really put him in his place. Now, let me quickly say this about some of JJ Redick's arguments. I think the entire topic was convoluted from the jump. Given the fact, who was more feared? Well, the question then became, and I think JJ Redick asked the question, are we talking about who was more physically feared or who was more feared on the basketball court? And because there was that little discrepancy, I think it created a lot of room for people to interpret the question their own way. The question itself wasn't very good in my personal opinion, and I think that's why you saw them kind of going in different directions with their answers. Here's what I think Stephen A. Smith was saying. I think Stephen A. Smith was simply saying people don't really fear LeBron to the point where people trash talk him. I think what he was saying is that people just don't see LeBron James as that dude. Case in point, there's so many examples of this, right? And I'm talking about I'm basically giving you what Stephen A. Smith should have said. He could talk about when JJ Barea and Sean Marion and all of these guys were trash talking and Jason Terry, right? You would never see something like that happen to Kobe or Jordan. I'm talking about Stephen A. Smith now. And so many other players trash talking, Kobe, these guys. Whereas to Jordan, people rarely trash talk, Jordan or to Kobe. I think that was the argument that Stephen A. Smith was trying to make that he didn't make, and I think JJ Redick pounced on that and really got at him. However, these are my other thoughts, right? These are my other questions between these two guys. Number one, will this kind of outburst or will this beat down, right? This figure of beat down, will it get JJ Redick removed from ESPN First Take as a regular guest? Because now they have interchangeable guests. People are coming in and out. That's the first question, because we all know that Stephen A. Smith has a huge ego and he hates to be challenged, especially publicly. You don't have to go any further than just look at Max Kellerman. Max Kellerman did it 1, 2, 3 many times, and then before you know it, he was up out of there. That's the first question, right? Will they get him? Because to me, I think that's what really JJ Redick is really risking. Because I don't think Stephen A. Smith is going to allow them to continue bringing on a guy that's going to make him look bad when they're talking about sports or basketball in this particular instance. Or will the network look at the fact that maybe that little segment or that little exchange got great ratings and continue to bring JJ Redick back? Because at the end of the day, the network wants to make money, but are they willing to do that at the expense of this guy pretty much coming on TV and kicking Stephen A. Smith's butt? So really, those are the questions that I'm really kind of looking at, because I'm wondering, are they going to continue to bring JJ Redick in to talk basketball with this guy when he just pretty much wiped the floor with him on this particular segment, or not? That's really what the question is. And that's the question we have for you guys. Number one. So the question is, do you think that Stephen A. Smith is going to limit the amount of, limit the appearances of JJ Redick on the show? Or do you think that, listen, the network is going to step in and say, hey, listen, this is great TV. We got to keep bringing this guy back. Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. Again, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to make sure you go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to be notified whenever we drop our content. Once again, this is Charles here from Dreamerspro, wishing you guys an amazing day and catch you guys on the next episode.